Alright, we're gonna let that be. So probably have a little over an hour of room here. I'm already on 60. So far a perfect course. I don't necessarily know what I want to bring to the table today. What I do want to focus on is being a little bit better with my verbiage. Sometimes I just notice that some of the things that I discuss here can be invariably, very weird. Like out of context. Coming into it might seem like some of the most belligerently out of this world shit that you may have heard somebody speak in a while. That's I aim to provide. If that's something we like, then like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching. Actually, there's something grossly wrong with my playlist playback. Sometimes I almost feel like Spotify wants it to be this way. It just wants to change up my playback into things that, it's like I did not turn on shuffle. We're listening to Junbi. Because I like Drift House and Chord Hell or whatever, whatever we're calling it. Definitely Chord Hell. A lot of circumstances there where I did in fact lose momentum. I didn't need to. I'm noticing a lot of places in this map in particular where I just get fucked up by that choke. I do not like going underwater there. I think it's faster to go the other way, personally. This one, I perfected a line. I perfected a line on the squeaky clean part of the sprint. So let's see if we can reproduce that. work. Oh shit, should not have hit that. Let's go. Damn, I wanted to do this perfectly. So, first lap there specifically, I felt very strong. I'm definitely figuring out that drift line, and it's like it's great because I really have come to a point with my play where I'm starting to take massive amounts of control in where I really just let there be chaos in speed before, but I'm really starting to think now about how it is that I want to like apply better vectors to exactly when I like release my boost. Yeah, fuck you. And it's those vectors and really the timing, and I suppose the rotational geometry, to sound up my own ass about it, that really just needs to be considered when kind of trying to create these perfect runs. Alright, let it rip. Went right over him. I wanted that, but I didn't get it. Until very few coins had behind me. Go on the inside. And there you have it. Yeah, so I don't have too many specific things I want to be talking about. But fuck it, let's just get to the meat and potatoes, shall we? Biden, I can't blame you, bud. Again, you're caught between a rock and a hard place. But I don't know. Taking a look at those polls, I do see that we are taking a beating on public perception. I don't necessarily know how it is that so many people, even myself, find themselves so vocally so vocally oppositional towards a lot of stuff. I think the way that the war in, in Gaza has, I think, reflected is it's really just, I want to say that it's because people think that like all of a sudden like identity politics are coming into such like huge play, right? Especially on the left. Like it's like identity is a big deal when it comes to like how we present ourselves and what we're going to allow ourselves to purchase and buy. Is this idea of kind of boycotting certain industries or companies based on specific values and ideologies has become a normal standpoint, but it comes up in our conversations, our dialogue, and our traditions as well. And but like in regards to all of this, right? Like with how it is that we perceive, I think you right now, it has to do, I think, in great part due to the fact that there's a huge kind of awakening on the military industrial complex and as it pertains to, U.S. interests when war might be waged, and for U.S. allies who have like obligations to fulfill in terms of like supplying weapons and stuff. So like that's like something that's always going to be great, like much to the chagrin of any arms manufacturing entity, especially folks like Korean Rockets, and that's an opportunity to make a whole bunch of ordnance, right? But I think it is grossly unfair to refer to you as like this merchant of death, or a like a war profiteer and a dictator, as if the blood of the circumstance is on anyone's hands other than Netanyahu's and Hamas. I mean, and many other parties too. But like this one is difficult for you to be in the seat of, and I want you to know I don't blame you directly, bud. I just want your constituency and our constituency to understand this. On the other hand, sir, you have been very wishy-washy, shifty-shafty, with how your verbiage and how the response to everything was going to go. I believe you mentioned that there was going to be like deep, severe consequences for Netanyahu and Israel if Rafah should be invaded in the way that we all feared, which it does appear in fact is the case. What am I? Whoa. Yeah, I have no fucking idea what happened there. Damn, Peach. Ain't that a peach? How you like them apples? But yeah, I like. Have I seen any such response? No. I see that the ICC has called for Netanyahu's arrest, and like for deep mass war crimes and stuff, in the interest of trying to safeguard the Palestinian people from any more horrible bloodshed. But like sincerely, sir, you are fucking up not just like a few people in a demographic. You are fucking up a whole country's, like, bro. Like there's no going back. Shouldn't have called you bro. 3 sets of 42. Yikes. Phew. Now, I can't stand idly by and let our leaders like say that we're so wholeheartedly that, like, we're gonna bring them home, and we're gonna eradicate Hamas, and, like, what the fuck? Remember, the mission is to protect the Israeli people. That is what the Taylor Force Act is about. It's not about fucking, like, pile drive demolishing. This is a grave overreach of powers. Let me be very real. It is completely disproportionate. Completely disproportionate. Just look at the numbers. What? Like over fucking 20 times? The losses? Like, what is it that we're trying to prove? If the hope is that we're trying to prove that we think that lying to the American people about, like, the nature of how awful things truly are, and we're just saying what's happening there is just not genocide, like, it's not conducive to any kind of, like, actual connection or discussion that we should be having as a fucking nation on this. Like, literally, Obama's probably fucking turning. He's turning in his spiritual coffin right now. The one that you put him in when you don't have dialogue to offer in regards to this. I make it sound like Obama's dead, but is like Obama third term? I am the Obama third term. Let's be real. In my little dream ARG here, it was kind of cute for a little bit, because I felt like it was almost like in my head I was being tapped as if I could be some kind of write-in candidate. Some last fucking chance, like, hope, like, Hail Mary contact to, like, shoe in. And maybe if we puppeted him just well enough, he could be everything that we need him to be. Just in case. But, like, I dove in. I say, you know what? Let me give my unequivocal full support of, I think, a person who's going to do a better job than Trump, period, end of story. But, like, this is a desperately fucking crazy time. It's calling for desperate, like, I think just potentially even a need for more executive overreach than ever before. But, like, not in the form of any level of totalitarianism that the other fucking orange prick has in mind. Like, Jesus Christ, let's be fucking real. I'm not over here, like, screaming about a goddamn Gestapo over here, like, fucking sticking my neck out, looking like a fucking idiot every goddamn day of the week over here for no reason. I legitimately am very concerned about this. Let alone the fucking, like, quote unquote, like, the demolishment of our democracy. No, bro, I'm talking about the fucking destruction of our way of life as a whole, and the expectation that the individual should be protected at all costs. But it's like, we only fucking ever had that fucking notion on paper anyways. It's disrespectful. But, it's just kind of like, we have to own what our fucking imperialism has done. We have to lean into it. We can't be, like, super apologetic about it, right? But we can't just not look at it. Listen, we have younger generations that are going to be louder and louder about this shit as they become adults. Many of them are voting already. This two-party system nonsense has to change. I think everybody knows that I'm fucking behind, like, a large swath of that shit. Go Purple Party. All I can say. In the end, like, those are a lot of, like, the constituents that I fucking enjoy these days. Ideals that might cater to both interests. Crazily enough, on the extreme sides of either end, but, like, not even, like, the fucking horrible ones. I do see some purpose to, potentially something that can, like, center us through the extremes. And through the acceptance of, oh my god, just like super crazy shit like, well, why do we have the Second Amendment right? Why might it be good that we move the the ability to sell guns forward? Why it is that it's super important that we continuously remember that we're only like a 200 and something year old country over here. Like a fucking bunch of fucking youngins. We had it real good after World War II, I really must say, but oh my god, it's doing me dirty. Let's say. Yeah, there's no way. I tried though. I got close. Either way, I'm getting off topic there. It turned to this whole rant too. Sucks so much for my perfect run. I was doing very, very good there for over another 100 points. Whoo! Yes. So, I mean to... I guess guide us on where I think we desperately need to validate many of our voters on the reality of a lot of shit. I don't think there's really too much getting away from so much. I mean, primarily, like, what should we validate them on? Like, Biden already validated them on, like, the idea of shrinkflation, but, like, let's think about how it is that, like, inflation might be being leveraged to, like, make Biden look extra bad right now during his end of the presidency, where the one place where, Americans in a very, the most very capitalist society, right? The one place where it actually affects our quality of life the most would be our cost of living. But like the cost of goods and products as a whole, cost of gasoline is fucking $3.79 today. Like, what the fuck? It's like, 1 million barrels have just been released, but like, Jesus. But yeah, it's just like, what if all these things are being brought up to kick you out? To make people angry at you. And then lo and behold, watch like Trump get elected. Oh god. And then they all bring it right back down. And make it look like he's responsible for a giant price reduction. No, you see, that would already be much too naive of me, because they would never do such a thing. That's kind of it. How would you stop something like, quote, greedflation in all of the context that a word like that is supposed to be? You would have to report all profits. That would be like the least command economical thing I can think. Would be that all entities, private and public, would have to have public registries of how their profits work. You wouldn't be able to keep any parts of their books behind the counter or under the counter. It would have to be known. It'd be the only way to confirm that people wouldn't be inflating stuff beyond proportion. You know, like we had protections against like monopolistic, like enterprising for ages, right? And now I think Google's coming into question for potentially being too big, and you know, rightfully so. It's just like, now we're drawing the line. It's just like, you know, it's like about when and where, right? When do you draw the line? When did AT&T get too big? You had to start splitting them up. How do you translate that down the line to the internet age? I mean, it's like we're beyond the internet age now, right? It was the internet age. We are now in the AI age. Holy shit. And it will come to define the era, especially as robotics. I see even personal robotics right now are getting so vastly and amazingly like paced. I can't imagine how like real some of these things are looking. It's hobbyists, really good ones, obviously, but they impress me. Terrifying shit. A lot of those motors that they use and actuators are very loud and grindy sounding, so when these things' faces are moving and their shoulder blades are bare still, I haven't covered them with anything. It's just very uncanny. It's like beyond uncanny valley because of how real you realize it could look. But it's those noises. Oh my god. It's definitely going to be where figuring out how to make them quiet is going to be everything. It's just like, you know, I've seen those like dramatizations, like say in Overwatch of like the Omnics, and like, you know, their pistons and actuators and motors are all like, you know, very much there. You can see them. They're small enough that it's like you don't really have to like worry about them. Like, but it's like, you know, it's like maybe you can get a finger stuck in one of those as a human. You got to be careful if you're like, you know, if you're in love with an Omnic. Damn, it's that's right. It's I'm sorry. It's worth talking about, guys. It's in the foreseeable future. It is now. This is now forecasting in a very important kind of method. My methodology cannot be smitten, or you know, you can't make fun of this. Wow, how am I in seconds still? Excuse me. Smitten? Right, it can't be smitten. Sorry, they were talking about Smite earlier in the Discord. I was like, oh, hello, Smite. I thought about Smite in ages. I would say Smite. It's like Smite, like a fucking, it's like a MOBA. Shooty shoot. There's a little bit of shooty shoot. It's like, it's complicated. It was MOBA. It was very MOBA. Would you guys say that Smite is more MOBA than shooty shoot, or more shooty shoot than MOBA? Let us know down in the comments below. I lost another one. I think that was essentially the nature of what was being discussed in the Discord. I think it's more MOBA than shooty shoot, personally. But yeah, guys, like the Israel shit, like the reason it is so vehemently important that you do not like lose the context on just how many people, like the world's eyes are on this thing. You just had Ireland recognize Palestine as a state to recognize a two-state solution. You can't. Hamas's integration into Palestinian politics is so huge in there, and I get that it's like you can't just, but they are not synonymous. They are not synonymous. Netanyahu's government is constantly making it out to be like it is. There are time and time again, at like a week after Netanyahu's been called to to court through the ICC, he is now apologizing for tens and tens of civilians already fucking running from them in camps, right? For like the fucking third or fourth time. I was fucking getting bombed. There's fucking dying. After they've already fucking been pushed in a corner for like the 7,000th fucking time. That's not fucking cool. I at least fucking liked it when we pretended to not be the bullies. It's just like, I don't fucking know what installed Truman. I don't know what led to it. I don't know what powers within the DNC must still exist. If it goes beyond superdelegates, if it all has to do with the flow of money, trace it like water. But at the end of the day, I don't necessarily know what fucking interests generated, the Truman years. Generated our fucking military complex to be so fucking vehemently powerful and terrifying as it is, that there's still somehow a force that's like thinking that what's happening in Gaza is necessary, and that my own Democratic president in 2024 would somehow say that suggest that what's happening is okay after he was just saying that it isn't. Like, we had a strong narrative going before, man. We had a narrative going where it was like easy, right? We're gonna keep putting pressure on Netanyahu to not do that horrible thing by invading Rafah, while still funding their ability to quote unquote defend themselves with artillery. But you see, it didn't quite work out, because he went for Rafah anyways, made us look like a fucking paper tiger. What else is fucking news? What I mean when I constantly say this motherfucker's not our ally, is constantly making us look like chumps. And now we're going to like try and make like some fucking like alliance with Saudi Arabia and him. Right after we get fucking note that Saudi Arabia was funding Al-Qaeda. What the fuck is going on? And I'm just gonna sit here and fucking take this shit? Like, what the fuck do my taxpayer dollars even do? They help me blow a nice, lofty bubble for me to live in. My cute hairstylist is right. I shouldn't I shouldn't be trying to like look behind me for those spooky shadows so much. You never know what I'm gonna find. Usually when it just comes through us to us on like feeds, it's like public news feeds and like legitimate like resources so often and constantly. Like it just, oh my fucking god, guys. We isn't Dizum. How are they so far behind? What else is new? Sorry, I'm like watching how far behind they are more than like it's honestly very curious how far behind they are. What else is new? Yeah, am I talking about our fucking military and Pentagon? I'm not talking about our boys on the ground, of course. No, I'm And all you had to do is make sure that orange prick didn't get in the first time, but no. They get in because democracy works and people are fucking dumb. And then they're going to go ahead and decry the idea that it ever worked at all after they got the fucking retard in the first place to ruin everything. Yeah, I was like, but I know there'd be like a bunch of people like the outside of the world just be like taking a look at these things and just be like laughing their ass off because like it's just like people in Japan. It's like those crazy Americans. It all comes crashing down on them. Things are good enough for me, and I'm certain a lot of us are happy about it. But yeah, it's just like. I've been preaching about this these days since middle school. My friends can confirm it. I always said we could never sustain it. I always said it. I like we had the wool pulled over everyone's eyes, but it could never last. People will get smart. Even the smartest of my friends would be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, we're just strong and like, we got a strong military and it's like important that we understand our borders and boundaries and but like more than anything, it was just like there's no reason that we're going to lose our stronghold in the world so soon. And I'm like, nope, it's gonna be fast and we're gonna erode and and I think around high school I was arguing it was gonna happen through economic I guess just like the reduction of quality and services through how not and like accelerated through our outsourcing for economic goods and services. Oh, uh-oh. 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 And so yeah, so we kind of find ourselves here, and like, let me tell you, it's a beautiful country, beautiful nation, beautiful people living in it. Oh my, so beautiful. But I'm frequently very, very disconcerted, like very, very, very fucking disconcerted at just the level of very obvious corruption in interests for like just like the goods and services we receive as a whole. How I'm seeing a shift. The potential of a second Trump term is the destruction of the Department of Education. It is the destruction of the EPA. It is the... Oh, shit. Our law enforcement will become... It's like if you thought it was militant before, it will become so much worse. And this was during a period of, like, reintegration and, like, kind of demilitarization of our police forces. Um, oh, shit. See, political police limiting our speech. You'll see all of this blanketed in an agenda of tremendous bias and terrible prejudice that, oh, by the way, is going to come after all the minorities. But specifically, I'm going to go ahead and call it the gays and the Jews. When I say gays, I mean the whole community. But they're going to come after the trans first. They think it's an easier target. They're going to utilize a narrative of pedophilia, as they have found and managed to find a way to convince the internet that more and more things are pedophilia when they are not pedophilia. Really just anti-fetishist, puritanical bias, constantly being rehashed. They're trying to blur the boundary of behavior for those who are already ashamed of themselves to boot, but they're trying to blur what's okay and what's not. People don't understand the difference between so many fucking concepts. They probably don't even know like how the ability to separate sex and gender, but like, it spooks me. They go, they don't know how to separate sex and gender ideology. Oh god, but no. you guys. No, I can't say it loudly enough. So yeah, I'm sorry if I sound harsh on Biden here. I'm just like, man. I know you ain't the first president to have trouble with them. Those Israelis, huh? Tell me about it. Why not just like refound the nation of Israel, Palestine? Forced integration. Ooh. That would be rough. Harf, harf. You know, it's like, I like the idea of a two-state solution, I do, but like, there needs to be some crazy level of reparative justice and contribution. But like, listen, like the rest of the world is like knows. Like, this isn't going anywhere. Like, and again, in respect to the fact that it's just like, this was not the rapport that we needed. I lost that one. It's close though. It's close. It is with great frequency that I just don't I sometimes just don't understand how so many things could go wrong at once. Yeah, I hate to say it, guys. Ukraine's about to go kaput. Uh, just, I mean, I don't know how else like it could have gone, right? But you have Russia testing and leveraging its tactical nuclear payloads, arsenals, and its non-tactical nuclear arsenals, mind you. For the whole ramp up and escalation. But remember, the tactical stuff was always there to like create. I don't know why fuck anybody ever even started to make the tactical shit, because it was just there to let the slippery slope exist. Oh, we can have it on a smaller scale. I have people trying to tell me that tactical warheads being dropped would not immediately result in like full-scale nuclear war, and I'm like, you're fucking crazy. It's just like the moment that a tactical nuclear warhead drops, like in a live battlefield today, is the moment that a full-scale nuclear war has never been fucking closer, ever in a million billion fucking years ever. We have been far and beyond Bay of Pigs level shit. Nobody even look at the doomsday clock anymore. Well, I'm a Capricorn and I'm horribly connected to time. It also has something to do with one of my thousands of alter egos, but most importantly, it is something that I keep track of. Give me a moment. Excellent. It was 47. So yes. Now, the thing is that, I don't see a lot of like duck and cover McCarthy era nonsense going on, and that's nice, but maybe the duck and cover shit was there to tell us, yo, we're in deep shit if we don't take this seriously. But this seems to be going a lot more on the scale of like, and I hate to say it, like the Fallout level of stuff, right? Where it's just like people are kind of laughing in the face at the concept of nuclear war, just saying, let it come what will. Economy's doing good, huh? Look at that. We have plenty of oil. Why is it so expensive? Who's letting this be? Like, can somebody not just make like a cheaper drilling company and like have it protected from like corporate espionage long enough to like just completely undersell everyone else who's way overselling the prices on their gas? Like, can we also please get a readout of like any and all Republican and Democratic interests in oil and natural gas? And I'm thinking of investing in natural gas because it's going to be so big for AI, generative AI, and powering the machines for that. But like, come on, like this is why I need like everyone's. This is why I'm saying things like all profits need to be on the table, because like obviously nobody can be trusted. And it's only continuously fucks over your people more and more. Listen, it's like human versatility exists like to cope and like deal with nature. Not just human nature. Like there's only so much adversity that like income like people can cope with. And right, there are people in like much worse off situations than myself, for example. There's levels of poverty much worse and deeper than anything that I've seen. For the most part, I think I've seen the bottom of the barrel, honestly. But um, and that'll never leave me. That's why I wear the gold chain that I do, because it reminds me of that bottom of the barrel. But um, at the same rate, you know, I'm an American. As cursed and as like voodoo level horrible, my life uh, coexists with the fact that there are kids in sweatshops making clothes for the likes of me, types of shit. This is not solely for me as an American. This is also the case for pretty much anybody living in, like, that middle class type of existence, that white suburbia. Certainly it exists in the UK, in Ireland, in Russia. It exists in all places. It's that bubble. And so it's just, it's this place. But